Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Holistic Actress Show. And I'm so excited today because it's not a coincidence that with me as first guest of this new podcast where I'm going to talk about change and transformation, and I'm going to host space for incredible humans around the globe, internationals and Italians, that my first guest is a very good friend of mine, an incredible, talented singer, songwriter, actress. I would say poet too, because she's very good at writing poems as well, and breath work coach. But mostly the most really important thing I have to say, and I'm going to reveal that after a long time mentioning this, she's my favorite client. That's it. That's really it. I know I'm going to make some people jealous, and that's the intention, but she really is. Welcome, everybody. Lucie Vincentelli, and correct me if I said it
No, that
right.
was perfect.
Okay. Welcome to the first episode of my show, Lulu. I'm so excited you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I know. That's usually how we start our sessions. Just we start laughing.
Yeah, that's true.
Just have like minutes of laughters with definitely no sense without having say hi.
That is very true.
Yeah, it's a way to release all the emotions and excitement.
Yeah, the energy is so present that we have to release somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, and laughter is a non-conventional way to release emotions. Because people don't consider that eventually really laughter is our biggest release.
But it is for sure.
So I wanted Lucie to be here as first guest because we have been through a very long journey actually. And I just want to say something, and like let me know if you remember that. Like I met Lucie in 2021, and we were in Rome, and she's Parisian. I mean, she's so chic. She comes from Paris.
Oh
like
God.
she couldn't come from anybody else but Paris.
Yeah.
And we were doing an acting training in Rome with our incredible coach, Chloe. Um, and I mean, we met, and I think that there was something like, I mean, we recognized
Each other. Yeah. I remember we had done an exercise and then we had a pose and I was rehearsing near a car and you were there.
Yeah.
And you said you said something to me. We had a connection, but that was very like a quick one, it was not that long, but we just recognize each other.
I think so.
The journey started there.
I think so. I think it started there. I think I felt inside of me something, and I felt like this young woman, first of all, I thought that you were really amazing, and second, I thought, yeah, something is gonna happen between me and her. And and after years and time of connection, we started a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey together. I am happy to say publicly that I'm extremely grateful for the work we did together this past year. Lucie joined the one-on-one program Becoming You, healing and transformational program that I offer to people who want to have a commitment in their life to create real, deep healing and change, with intention to become the next version of themselves. And we all know that this is not possible if we don't truly have a real commitment and
also a container, like
yeah,
to guide you. It's
yeah.
very
You know, I want you to talk a little bit more of this experience from your side, and I can say a lot about my side, but I really would like to.
Yes. So from my side, it felt like it was a container. It was a safe space to explore all the parts of myself, my wholeness. And I want to share also that I'm so grateful that I met you and that I had the chance to work with you, because I think it's a lot about human connection, how you feel with the coach you're working with. And we were such a good match. Like, we
Yeah.
were such a good match. It's amazing. Like, it was so smooth. Our connection was good. I mean, we got each other, you know. So first of all, I would say that trust was a very big piece for me in my life and so in my work. And this is something that you brought to the table, like we created together. And so this allowed me to dive in deeper. And so, yes, the journey was, oh my God, I remember now moments like last September. I remember because when you start to work and when you start to commit, it's like life is going to throw at you personal exercises in your real life. And it has been like that my whole journey with you. Like whenever we were working on something together, releasing something, working on something, on a mindset, you know, whatever, I had like something in my external world coming in for me to experience it and see how do I respond now? How, like, yeah, how am I responding now that I'm more aware of my patterns? And this has been something very magical. Like, this has been magical. I had books coming in, uh, meetings, and just doors opening for me to be able to do the work in real life. So this has been magical first. And what I loved about the work we are doing and we did is that you gave me tools. So it's like it's shared freedom. Your freedom was a gift for me, you know, like you really gave me tools to master my own self. So there was no needy or codependency or, you know, those kind of stuff that humans do a lot with no judgment.
Mhm.
And this is very, very like, this is big, because as a coach, what you want to do is people to be more free, to be themselves, to be who they are. And to do that, there are many ways, but yeah, this is something that I experienced. Like right now, I feel so much more grounded in my truth and in my own beingness. I have the tools actually. Like, of
Yeah.
course, I go through challenges, and this is part of life. And I love it actually. But now I have the serenity, the confidence to stand in the middle of those challenges because I went through with you and you gave me the tools.
Yeah, that's an important point because I think becoming you, it's built on a technical level. It's very technical process. It's a
This
so
is what I want to say. Yeah, this is exactly what I try to share. It's very technical, actually. It's very human, but it's very technical. And you manage to click the both of them, like the human side and tools, techniques, exercises,
yeah.
structure.
It's like you cannot really go to the next step of the process if you haven't processed the step before. And that's why also in our journey together, we didn't I never asked you to do things with a deadline, or like I wanted you to have your time, your own time to process the things, and going through of course being there, and of course suggesting eventually you sometimes to like, let's go back to this thing, or like take your time to go through those things, right? But I think it's a process, it's a technical process, and so everybody's different and everyone has their own things to go through. For example, you are an extremely open, you have an extremely open body. So working with you, and like the first part of the process, it's all about healing.
Yeah.
And we've been working on healing even before jumping into becoming you. But the first part was easy in a way, not easy in the processing, because healing, it's never ending, as we know, and it's always, you know, hard to deal with trauma and past wounds and subconscious mind and body. But like for me, it's been amazing to work with somebody who is so open, so open. And so it was a really creative process. um the other steps, the other technical steps that and we were just sharing this yesterday, like we are at the end of the process, and in the end of the process, it's all about mindset, it's all about understanding the person you are becoming and building this person. And there are more resistance coming. Maybe it's less of healing, maybe it's less of trauma work, maybe it's less of crying. It's more of, you know, and so my question, I have two questions actually for you. Like the first one is in relationship to how difficult was for you to jump and make this investment, because it's been an investment, and so
Yeah.
people can feel scared many times in investing on themselves and trusting somebody else. And how much are you happy of this investment? And my second question is, what's the stage you have struggled the most in the process?
Okay. So for the first question, first answer, actually, I think you remember how, like, when I engaged in the course, it also happened quite spontaneously. Like we were working together, and then in the WhatsApp, you send me a vocal where, "Hey Lulu, what about, like, I have a course becoming you. It's more investment. It's longer. What are, like, would you join that?" And my intuition said yes the moment I heard it. It was a full body yes. And I love that you talk about the body, that I have an open body. And I really wanted to and also talk about it, because the journey from the mind to the body, mind to the heart, it's the journey I'm on, I can say. And so anyway, so investing in that course was very natural, and actually everything was there for it. Like I didn't really struggle with paying or anything around that. I think that when it is aligned, you're like backed up, you're supported in that. And for me, investing in myself is quite natural, because I always knew that who I am is the reality I'm building. It's not the other way around. And yeah, if I can change myself, if I can become more, if I can hold space for more of my emotions, then I'm an open vessel for other people, and my inner state creates my outer states. It's a mirror. So I always knew that in me. So for me, it was just, yeah, of course I'm gonna start by me. Like otherwise, all the rest is illusion. It's not real, So
Yeah.
that was quite natural to do that. Yeah, it was quite. I have to say, it was quite natural.
Yeah. No, I know that because I was there with you, and like that everything was absolutely natural.
It was aligned.
I didn't have to sell you anything. It was just,
Nothing.
I don't think I'm a great at selling. I'm just really like you. I do
You
create things,
proposed that to me.
and
Yeah.
I offer to people. Like I feel like I'm just it's here. If you like to, I feel to propose that to you, or
Mm.
to you, or to you, and we kind of know when we are ready for. But what really what I really love about your story and your journey, your transformational journey, because I've been knowing you for some time and you are so young. So you're 22, right? So you started, yeah, like that's something that has have to be, even if you feel old, because I know you.
No.
And you're so young. And I'm incredibly inspired by you and the way you uh, your emotional intelligence and your intuition, despite me and despite becoming you, just wanted to understood intuitively that you needed to do something for yourself. You started doing long time ago before me, right? And that's something that for a 22 years old young woman, it's inspirational. That's another reason why I wanted you to have you here, because it's inspirational to see somebody at 22 years old having dreams, having also confusion, because like I am 38 and I'm confused about my life, and my mother is a 65 and she's confused about her life. So it's just accepting the nature of that human experience. So we're always going to be kind of confused in our journey, but the intention of I want to change, I want to know, I want to make a meaning to my life, and having these at 18, 19, 20, 22, as much as 40 is what really makes a difference, not only in living your own life, but in the way you are giving
Exactly.
to others.
Because this is exactly this. And at the end, what I have found is that you're doing the work for yourself, but you're doing the work for others. It's it's so intertwined. And I can see even my relationship with my family going better because I it's like I understand people more because I understand myself. I can feel myself, so I can feel others. I can sense people's inner child. And I know that it's never about me. It's never about me. Like whatever someone say to you, or how people behave towards you, it has all to do with them. And how you respond is your responsibility. This is what Chloe often says. Responsibility. This is the power you have. And when it feels like becoming more human. I'm so human. Like my heart is open. I feel, I dream. uh, I'm human. And so then I can connect as a human to other human. At the end, that is it somehow. Like, yeah.
Yeah. How much your artistic life, especially as a singer and writer and songwriter, has changed since you started this becoming you process?
Well, it has changed a lot. Um, I would say that it's like my songwriting and art now is, I used to separate it from me and my daily life. And it feels now that my daily life is my craft. Like my life is my art. So, it's becoming way much more internalized. I write songs whole day long. Like my reality is my art. And I know that I create my reality. So I'm becoming I'm becoming the artist of my life by responding in ways I want to respond, by becoming someone I love to be. You make choices. We make choices every second, every minute. And this is our responsibility to make choices. And even in acting, Chloe often shares that with students. Make a choice. As an actor, you make a choice.
Right.
And so my artistry is now more spacious, and it has gained the space of my life. So this is what has changed, and it's quite a big change, because then you are responsible. You take responsibility for what's your reality is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming back to the other question on what was the most struggling part of the process, and what was the most, the part that you loved the most?
Okay. Okay, I can say right away that the most difficult part is right now. It's the end of the journey. It's quite complicated. And I feel something right now in my solar plexus. It's complicated because, as you said, freedom is scary. Being yourself, being authentic is scary. Making choices and showing them to the world is scary. Showing up is scary, Sometimes it feels more safe to hide and to not go for what you want, because then you're safe. Then anyone, no one can tell you, oh, she's failing, or you don't have to face you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the end of becoming is intense. It feels like a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like everything is making sense. The whole journey is making sense. There is a sense of wholeness and breakthrough that I'm like, ooh, it's there. I gotta jump. It's like, yeah, I was still holding somehow to security things, beliefs, and now it feels like a big jump. Like, let's go.
Yeah. And the part that you loved the most?
The part that I love the most, there is a part I loved. It was the first two parts of the work, the
The first
healing and
seasons.
unfolding.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, the first seasons. There is something in there that I got that I really, really love, and it's the ability to feel. This is a tool that is right now helping me so much, because I now am able to, okay, so it feels to me that what we fear, it's not the event for what it is what we feel from the event, because everything is neutral actually, but it is how we respond, how we react to every event that is the trigger. And so being able to stand firm, grounded in the middle of challenges, of fear, of anger, of sadness, of jealousy, being able to stand in between those currents of emotions, energy, emotions, this is a tool to be like self-mastery, because
Yeah.
then you trust you have yourself, you got yourself, and you don't need no more to be dependent on anyone, and you become strong.
I love that you were saying that. I love you were saying that because I want to also yeah, I want to honor your path in this sense, because as I said at the beginning, you're very open to feel. And in the meantime, you're very mental.
I know I am.
So there is something that sometimes happens to all of the people like you, and I am a very body person as well, because I can feel a lot, as you can feel a lot. And sometimes we can, because we're so mastered on use emotions, sometimes we can fool ourselves, like just staying in the comfort zone of feeling what we know and not going even a little deeper down. And in that sense, we can really do the work, we can really do the embodiment, we can really do everything, but there's something more deep down. And when we feel the fear of going in that deep down dimension, the mental dimension comes, like the rational conscious mind comes. And and if I want to honor you in this path, if I have something really that I think that I've seen you mastering the most, and it's been the most challenging for you, and I really want to honor you in that, is the capacity of accepting the power of your body and the depth of your emotions and your feelings over your mind, because your mind is always going to be there questioning and doubting and trying to rationalizing or labeling or structuring or trying to find answers. And I think you at the end of this process are really understanding that your uniqueness, it's not in your mind, it's in your body, and it's in your capacity to go that deep down, which sometimes is so scary and sometimes is going to make you feel so different.
Which is something I also struggle to.
Yeah, but
So,
that's what you are in your own way, because at the end we are all unique and different. But I hope that my contribution to you in this journey, it's going always to be, my mind is my enemy, my body is my best friend. My body knows, right? In the midst of the most difficult time, I hope that you will remember that. Like, I'm gonna switch off this fucking mind. I'm gonna connect with my pussy, with my belly, with my heart, with my body, and I'm gonna feel everything deep down, and it's there that I'm gonna find answers. And that's I hope that that's the best teaching that I can, with through practicing together. Yeah, Gabe.
it resonates a lot, and it's challenging to hear that, because it requires trust. And I have found a comfort zone in being in my mind. I have found security in my mind, which is false security, because my mind can be a prison, and I feel like a prisoner of my mind. And it felt that my journey was also to get free of my mind. And as you say, drop in the body, in the heart, in the intuitions, in my gifts, like my natural gifts. And yes, but I want also to love my mind. Like, I don't want to make an enemy of my mind, you know?
Yeah.
And I know what you shared was more like, go back to the body, go back to the body. But I feel like I need to integrate my mind for what it is, which is a tool. But just replace the mind where it belongs. It has just taken over my life. And now it's about, okay, I have a mind. It's cool to have it. I can be at point for the podcast. I can, I can do things of the world with it. But then just not giving all my power to my mind, because then it's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's a
beautiful.
prison.
It's this beautiful connection, body, mind, energy, right? So it's really, in the end, it's never just the body, it's never just the mind.
It's a balance you find.
It's this creating this sync.
It's like, how can my mind serve my truth, not the other way around?
Right.
How can the mind be a tool for me to build a life that is true to myself, to build beautiful relationships? Like, the mind has to be the servant of the heart.
Yeah. Yeah, the heart and the stomach and everything that it's within. I want to mention something. I know that during these 8 months now, maybe a little bit more, I don't know, you have discovered a new self, a new part of the self. You have developed a new part of the self, and this is your breath work trainer and coach. And you have found this, I don't want to even say desire, it's literally identity within you. I think it's something that was already there and you just discovered that. That's the unfolding, right? Like, that's the season of unfolding. We start unfolding and we start finding, oh, right, I'm a great writer. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm a great breath coach. I didn't know that. So how did you discover this,
Breathwork.
this part of you, and how are you living this new adventure of being a breath coach?
So that is a big question. Uh,
And also, you know why? Because like singers, you know, you need to breath a lot. I mean, my mom, she sings for fun and she always does all of those preparations with the breath. I mean, it's a total different story, clearly, when you do breath work.
yeah,
But I think it's very linked.
it
And
is.
that's another beautiful thing because in this podcast, I really want to talk about transformation. And I would like to normalize the process in every human being life of becoming anything they are. You know, we're not just one thing. And in the process of life, we discover so many sides of us if just we allowed
Yeah.
us to be.
This is a very big piece. Like, I struggle with labeling myself, like, to be understood by the world. Oh, she's a singer. Oh, she's an actress. Oh, she has this diploma or stuff. And because the mind wants to label. And I struggle with that a lot because I fear to be being judged for like being all of that. But this is me. And I just feel like saying that in this podcast and surrendering to my truth, like, this is what I want to explore in this lifetime. I want to explore healing, connection, authenticity, creativity, nature. I want to explore that because this is what resonates with who I truly am. And surrendering to who you are, at one point, you just do that because it's too painful to hold on to what you think people want you to be, what society wants you to be. And so this is part of my breathwork journey also, that actually I've when after the high school I went to a psychology university.
Mm,
So this has always been part of me,
yeah.
the healing, the understanding and stuff. But then what I have found is that I couldn't find true fulfillment through being only on a mind level. Like, psychology was cool, but it was only mind. And something in me knew that this is not how I want to help people. This
Mm,
is not where I want to go. This is not how I want to work. Because I intuitively knew that the mind was not where healing happens. Like, this is a part of where the healing happens, but where true healing happens, it's not there. So I left university and I went on my own journey. Like, I explored many things. And yes, I was lacking the body part. I was lacking consciousness part. I was like, it was too narrow. And then yeah, I feel that when I started to also trust more and more myself, my authentic self, like, events start to happen in my life. And I started to do breath work with a coach, and I was like, oh my God, I just resonated so much with that practice. You know, you feel when something's like, oh, I had goosebumps and excitement, and I'm so eager to go feel my feelings. You know,
mhm.
I was excited about that because I knew this was the good door to deep healing, the right door. And so I started to do it first on myself, being coached on breathwork. So I did it. And then I was talking with you about a somatic breathwork course I wanted to do in like Texas. Who remembers that? Um, I'm gonna do it, not now, but I will do it for sure.
Mm,
And um, and I also discovered somatic work with my osteopaths, and it really helped me also to really go in the body. Um, and because I feel that true healing happens when the mind is at rest, because the mind is the part of you that protects you, that, you know, protects the deep emotions, the buried feelings, the shadow.
mhm.
And so I needed a practice to for my mind to be still and for my body to take the lead and release whatever it had to release, and breath work allows that. So yeah, and then you sent me the contact of a breathwork coach in Paris.
Yeah.
Like, everything was just, if I hadn't applied to becoming you, I wouldn't be a breathwork coach somehow, because
That's actually the best thing you could have said to me. Like
yeah,
that's
becoming you, like becoming your authentic self. That's it. And when you align to that, then universe is by your side, because you're doing the work you were there to do, you were meant to do. You're aligned.
absolutely. And so much more to come and to
Yeah.
discover and to become. So before closing, I'm gonna ask you a question. I
Yeah.
think this is gonna be probably the question I'm gonna do. I don't know. Let's see. To close up episodes of the Holistic Actress show. Um, who is the person you are becoming? And you can also give me, if you want, you can just give me 3 names, 3 adjectives, 3 images, three, I don't know. It doesn't have to be intellectual necessarily. It can be just, we work in that way. We're not logical in the way we do things, but
Yeah. Who is the person I'm becoming?
Mhm.
I would say first that I am becoming me. It sounds cliche, but this is it. And this is the name of your course. I am becoming Lucie.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
feels like who I was as a child. Then I kind of lost it. And I feel like going back to this authentic state of being. So I'm becoming myself, I would say. And then who is that self? I know it. I'm becoming authentic. Yeah,
Well, you're a 6'2" in human design, so you're meant to be the role model, and
yeah,
you're meant here to be the um authentic self, to
yeah.
inspire people to be that
This
way.
is what I feel exactly. I feel that me being authentic is my soul mission somehow. Like, if I can do something for the world, in the world, it's to be authentic. And we all have our own journey, but mine is really about that. Like, how can I be the most authentic version of myself? How can I not lie to myself and others? But first to myself, how can I know when I'm lying to myself and take the correct actions to go back to truth, and thus facing fear a lot? So it's like working on the courage muscle also. But yeah, I'm becoming authentic, and it's very, I have a feeling that when you wake up in the morning and you are yourself and you dress as yourself and you go for things that you recognize yourself in, you bring a light to the world, because you are just fulfilled. You are like, you are just smooth, and your inner world is clear, and so the outer world becomes clear, and it's quite peaceful at the end. I would say that we all talk about happiness and joy and excitement, but I feel that lasting joy is peacefulness. I feel peaceful. Being yourself is peaceful, because you
Yes.
have nothing to do but all to be, just
Mhm.
being who you are
Yeah.
and trusting. And I'm sharing that right now, but it's sometimes quite scary. But then going back to peace, to my true self, okay, to the tools that you shared, and it's a alignment process that takes some time, but I feel that at one point You are grounded in your authentic self, in your peace. And I would say also something that I realized on that journey is that I am not the mind. And I want to say that because a lot of people are lost in thoughts, and I used to be. But your authentic self is above the mind. Your peace is above the mind. Your lasting joy and fulfillment and mission and connections, it's above the mind. Like, we are not the mind. You can listen to the mind, but you are not it, you know? And so I'm becoming what's above the mind.
Sorry. Yeah. And I can definitely and truly see that, because I think that I have witnessed, and I'm witnessing, sorry, and I'm witnessing your path, and it's been really, really beautiful to see this human experience. It's been a human experience.
Yes.
And I know that this is just the beginning, because again, you're so young and you're so intelligent and you are so determined to change and to create change and to be the creator and to be conscious of everything that it's going to happen to you. Like, you want that so much, and there's no way you cannot have it.
Yeah. I feel that my whole journey now makes sense. And I was looking for my true self back, which is consciousness. I was looking for that, to be back to the seat of consciousness, the witness, the observer, the creator. And this was my yearning. And now I understand, okay, I was looking for that part of me that is still, that is calm, that is the creator, you know? This is what they call in Zen studies and stuff, like self-realization. When you realize the self that you are, which is not the mind, which is not even the physical world, like it's not what you create. You are not what you create, but you are the creator of it, you know? So then you can detach and enjoy creating. And this is linked with the question you had about how this journey has changed your songwriting and stuff. I'm becoming the creator of, like, not only songs, you know?
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah, you're giving yourself permission to free yourself up and just be and do what you like.
That is it.
Do everything you are, and
and be everything I am and enjoy the ride, because at the end, this is not gonna stay with me at the end. This is it has to be joyful. We are creating every second, every minute, and we're not gonna die with our creations, you know? So I'm enjoying creating, and then ciao. Like, we are all artists.
Yeah, we are. So it's clearly a question that I have to ask you at this point.
Okay, wow.
It's the simplest one, actually, that I asked you in this chat conversation. Would you suggest becoming you?
Oh, I would suggest becoming you, and I'm suggesting it right now. And I hope my talk has given people the desire to go through that. I would definitely. And yes, but it's even more than that. Like, the human you are. I mean, I would suggest Maritè, like, really. And also the work you're doing, but it's so much about the person who's doing that. And I truly believe in the human, yeah, just you, like. So yeah, I would suggest that a million times.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So for everybody who's listening, Lucie, she's a singer, she is an actress, she's a songwriter, and she's a breathwork coach. And I'm gonna publish her Instagram account on the podcast information, so you can find her if you want to follow her work, if you want to follow her. And she released an amazing album called Élevé, right? Élevé?
Yeah. It was an EP, so it's like 5 songs.
Okay.
But yeah, it's music. So album, EP, you know, it's a label.
Yeah. Where this is coming from? Like what is that about? The EP.
The EP. So where does it come from? What do you mean by?
I mean, like, it's. Did you write it? Did you write
Yes.
this?
Okay. So I worked on it with a dear friend of mine who's a producer and artist. Um, and so it, yeah, we worked together on that. We were at the studio in my countryside. Yeah, countryside. I guess this is how we say. And yeah, I wrote the lyrics, I wrote the melodies, and we worked together. Like he produced it, he composed it also with me. So yeah, we had great fun doing that, and it was a beautiful journey. I mean, I love to write songs, and I feel that when I am writing music, I am being, like, I'm not doing anything. It's effortless. It's like I'm just being and
Yeah. And I
surrendering.
also want to I also want to say that I saw you recently in some clips from your last concert, and I am proud to say that becoming you, turn you in a very, rock star. Like, you are a rock star. Like, I saw you barefoot on stage, like, singing like a crazy motherfucker, and like the audience was like all there. I just love that, because you were a total different person. Like,
Myself.
your artist, your singer was a total different singer since the one I met
Yeah, totally.
1 year ago.
Even my actress, totally different.
Yeah.
So yes, of course, when you change, and as an artist, it's kind of your work is who you are. Like your work is really really linked to who you are. So as you grow as a human being, your craft grows with you. It's totally linked.
So please check her out, because she's amazing. She has an amazing voice, and she has style. So don't miss her.
So much. I'm taking in all that love.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for holding space again for me to be
Thank you
here.
so much for being my first client of Becoming You.
Yes, and I want to say that I'm so honored to be your first client on Becoming You. I'm the first client of Becoming You, you know?
And you will always be. And that's
Yes.
legend.
And,
That's it.
and there was this time to be that way. I feel like opening something also on your own journey, like I feel that we had a collaboration, you know?
Yes.
And this is very beautiful because I really always felt that we were equals, you know? There was this humanness between us,
Yeah.
collaborating,
That's the way I love
sharing.
to work. That's the way I love to work.
And this is
Even,
the way I love to work too.
yes.
And this has to be shared because sometimes we can feel inferior or superior or anything around that. But at the end, you know, we are all we are, and there's no reasons to.
Yeah, and that's what coaching is. Coaching, of course, it requires to be it requires some level of leadership on the coaching side, of firmness and knowing where you're going to go,
The
and
boundaries.
boundaries and everything. But um it's a co-creation experience.
Exactly. And this is what I felt with you. So this is also why I want to recommend the work you're doing, because there is true humanness and connection and co-creation. And this feels good. And this is how you do the real work. This is how you grow with other humans. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's really like the image that I like to have. It's like having a director working with an actor, like, or something like that. Like, you are creating a movie, a play, something. You are creating something, and there's no way. Everybody is essential, and everybody is
Yeah,
equally.
important and needed. And as you say, this is in acting, this is actually everywhere. Like co-creation is everything. Like you create with others, because even if you are on your own, the work, like people, I mean, the people who receive your art are co-creating with you. With no public, you don't exist as an artist, you know? You need others. Even if you do your craft on your own, you're co-creating with other humans because you're giving them something you created, and they are the receivers. You know, there is the game of giving and receiving. Otherwise, there's no art, there's no coaching, there's no, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for becoming you.
I wish you the best to becoming.
Yeah.
And for everybody listening to the first episode of the Holistic Actress, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for listening. Support me by following the podcast, rate the podcast, leave me a star, leave me a review, share this episode. Much more to come. And I'll see you the next time.